In New York outside hitter, number 14, Gabriel Hyatt. An outside hitter, number 16, Ryan Chavelle. And a defensive specialist, number 17, Utku Tan-Ritanier. And the libero tonight is number 2, Snigdo Hassan. Head coach of the Bulldogs, Dino Dan, and the assistant coach, Killian Ellis. Now the starters for your Baruch College Bearcats. Center, sophomore, number 5, Edward Grinberg. Middle hitter, graduate student, number 6, Jacob Marichal Ridden. And outside hitter, freshman, number 9, Warren Chan. A senior, outside hitter, number 13, Nick Godino. And a sophomore, middle hitter, number 16, Evan Tacos. And a sophomore, middle hitter, number 17, Manny Boucher. The liberos tonight for the Bearcats, senior, number 1, Kyriakos Semertzidis. And junior, number 10, Hamden Lee. Head coach of the Bearcats, Kevin Edwards, and the assistant coach, Christy Encarnacion. Now let's play ball.
Good evening, and we are live. It is Tuesday, April 2nd, and we are here with the CUNYAC Men's Match of the Week. We have the Baruch College Bearcats taking on the Brooklyn College Bulldogs in the CUNYAC Men's Volleyball matchup of the week here. It is also Senior Appreciation Night, and we have Kyriakos Semertzidis, Warren Chan, and Nicholas Godino as our seniors. Families are in the crowd. And we are checking lineups. The Bearcats are calling the Baruch chant the final time here on home court. There's still a couple things to figure out for playoffs to find out who has that home seed advantage. Brooklyn getting their lineups checked.
Numbers, yeah, because just numbers.
Both refs checking in right now. The liberos now are on each side. Baruch coming in with a record of 16-10. 5-1 in the CUNYAC division, while Brooklyn College has a 10-11 record, 2-4 in the CUNYAC division. Graduate senior Jacob Marichal Rudin to start serve. We're getting the balls in check right now, and it is official. We are here with the CUNYAC Men's Match of the Week. Nice pass. Godino's there with the pickup. They run him on the bick. Brooklyn College digs it, but that ball goes into the rafters. Sophomore libero Hassan getting his hands on that ball, but just not enough control. That ball goes into the middle rafter and finds the floor. Bearcats take the first point. Big block from Hahn. Edward rewards him with his set. It's picked up, though. Brooklyn's got some offense going, and that is a double call. Bearcats take the second point. Marichal Rudin going back to serve again. Let's see if he goes down the line again at the front row outside. It's time at the libero. They go outside set. Marichal Rudin's there, though. Semertzidis, free ball comes over. High ball set. It's picked up. Godino on the bick. That ball's tipped into the block, but Warren is there for another block. They're calling no net. Perfect block between number 9, Warren, and number 16 actually, Evan Tacos. Jacob gets the ace. switching up the areas on that jump float. Went down the line at the front row outside a couple times. Went back over to area 1. It's causing some chaos again. Another down ball given back to Baruch. That's a present. Outside set. Edwards there. Warren with the high ball set, though. Godino transition tip into the Bic. Joust at the net. And the Bearcats come up. Edward, the sophomore setter. Nice joust at the net between the two boys. Those are always interesting to watch. This time back 5 sets, still picked up. Brooklyn having a little trouble with the offense here early. Goes one ball. Warren is there for the pickup, but Edward just mishandled that ball. Ball falls down, point Bulldogs. Gabriel with the jump serve. This goes back 5 to Warren, but that ball's just too far outside the pin. Tried to keep it in, but he hit the antenna. That's a point for the Bulldogs. Quick jump serve here going at Godino. Godino with the big bump set Godino. That's a kill area. 5-6, just deep, 80% shot, 75. Great swing by Godino as he transitions front row. That means Warren goes back row as the other outside, as he goes back to serve. Forehands on top of it, but that ball is tooled out of bounds. Bearcats now have a 6-3 lead. Brooklyn going really quick with the serves here. That ball is blocked and back into Godino. Number 13, Omar, getting up and setting a big block. Out to Godino again. This time he goes off the fingers, and that one just goes over the head. That's a point for the Bearcats. As Tacos now goes back to serve, middle blocker. That means Semertzidis is out. That's a back set, but that's why as a setter you have to square up to that outside pin. If you don't square up to that outside pin, you might lose where you are on that court. He just set that ball over the net. Tacos going back for that second serve. Marjao Rudin with the defense. They reward him with the D ball, but that one is just set a little low. He's a big kid. You got to let him go up and swing. Out of rotation called on the Bearcats. And it looks like it's a call on opposite Jake Rudin. Yeah, that's what the call is going to be. The middle blocker. Jake Marjao Rudin is a middle blocker who is right now playing the opposite position. It looks like they're in rotation 5, so he has to be in between the two outsides, in my opinion. They are talking. It looks like it was the ref's fault on the call. They're going to talk it over real quick.
Don't forget, the athletic department is streaming athletic events live. You'll never miss a bit of the action at Baruch College athletic home events. All home basketball and volleyball games are broadcast live on our YouTube channel, Baruch Bearcats. After further review, the score now is Baruch 8, Brooklyn 5, number 3, Wellington serve.
All right, here we go. This is the deal. The ref thought that Merja Rudin, the opposite, was out of rotation in between the two outsides, 13 Nicholas Godino and Warren Chen. He was lined up close, but it turns out that he was in rotation, and he was able to be in that spot. The ref called him for that 2 times in a row for 2 points. It should have been 8-7, but since they checked the lineups and they found that Merja Rudin was actually correct, they had to take back 2 points, making it 8-5. Brooklyn College gets the point, and it's now 8-6. We got some volleyball. Nick Godino with the roll shot. Showing power and then just giving a little tip. Ball falls down. Bearcats take a 9-6 lead. And it looks like that mini timeout just kind of caused a little bit of a momentum swing. And especially going into CUNYs in the next week or two. You want to see both teams coming at this game with a lot of fire and a lot of communication. They go back to Godino, the back 5, and he goes area 5-6 deep. Great shot by the senior. Godino collects the ball, goes back to serve. Tipped over, but Semertzidis is there. Godino on the bick, and that ball is put away. That's a point for the Bearcats. As Baruch climbs to an 11-7 lead. Float serve goes deep. This ball's off the net. High ball transition set. Roll shot to Kyriakos. Picked up by the setter out to many, but it's picked up again. Warren goes off the hands. 4 hands up in front of his face. He just picks one off. That's a point for the Bearcats. Float, 3-point pass, all options. They go outside. And that ball is called off the hands by the head ref. The down ref called it 2. Making that a Bulldog point, 12-8. Bearcats lead. Free ball sent over. Let's see what the Bearcats can do right here with it. It's a present. They go out to Warren. He finds a hand. Just a little stab from Brooklyn. Giving a down ball back. They go to Manny Misheyev out of the middle, but that ball is just hit out of bounds. Great swing by Manny, but just misses his spot. I think he wanted to go around that hand a little bit more, so we went just a little bit wide. As they go back to Merja Rudin, but he hits down the line out. (12-10) Bearcats lead. Nice hard float serve. That one's touched. Great one-handed pokey. Roll shot from the A-ball position. Tried to control it, but just goes out of bounds.
16, Evan Tacos checks in. Number 17, Boucher will serve.
Shea with a float serve. They go back 5. Off the hand of Tacos, and that's a point for Brooklyn. You got the Midtown Lower East Side School in Manhattan taking on Brooklyn College. This is what the CUNYAC division is about here. You got all 5 boroughs going. And that's a one-ball transition kill by Evan Tacos. Baruch switches back to the 6-2. Marija Rudin comes out for his setter, Stallone, while the setter, Edward, comes off the court for Artem, who's an opposite. This gives Baruch that pivotal three options every single set. So now your setter's back row, and you have 3 new hits. Instead, they would have had their setter front row, meaning that they would only have 2 options, the middle and the outside. That ball's hit out of bounds. Substitution called just a little late by Brooklyn, but it's allowed. It's almost a little mini timeout. You're freezing the server just for a split second. Stallone goes off the tape. That ball goes into the rafters. Home court advantage falls down. That's a point for the Bearcats. Jump serve down the line. That's a 3-point pass, though. They go back to the outside. Godino saves it just to be safe. They go high ball to Warren, and Warren goes into the net. Number 14, Gabriel, back to serve. That ball, one-handed pokey save. Bearcats keeping it alive here. Late in set number 1 as Evan Tacos comes up with the jump block. That ball set to the pin kind of tight, and Brooklyn just couldn't keep it alive. Bearcats take the point, 17-12 here. Outside set. Blocked the wall. Artem and Tacos. With Godino, Tacos, and Artem, this is going to be one of Baruch's best lineups. Right now there's Warren Chen in the serving position at outside 2. Most of the time that is Steven Lopez, while Godino takes over that outside 1 spot. Outside set. Tacos way not to reach. He just kind of trusted his defense. Godino goes for the swing, and there's a net. They're calling a net on number 3, Michael, the sophomore setter out of Brooklyn. He's from LaGuardia. Ball kept alive. Great save. Warren Chen's there. As Godino just gets to swing. Back 1 is hit out of bounds. 20-12. Brooklyn calls a timeout. It is 20-12 here in set number 1. And we'd like to take one moment to thank Pepsi. Pepsi, the official soft drink of the CUNYAC Conference. And we will be back in just a moment.
City. There is a place for people that want to be a part of something bigger than themselves, where if you work hard, the possibilities are endless. A place to learn, train, and play. In that order, the City University of New York Athletic Conference. This is where it all comes together. Find your people, be a part of a team, and don't just play the game, change the game. Champions aren't born, they're built. The City University of New York. Be exceptional.
Here we are back. Warren Chan, the senior, back to serve. Nice deep float. Brooklyn sets the outside. Ball comes over to our desk. Chen back for another serve. This is a tight pass. It's saved one hand. Artem, the opposite, was there, but pulled off. Especially between that setter opposite position who's playing defense in area 1-2. You got to have great communication. When the setter's back row, you don't want him to take that first ball every time. You want him to be able to take second ball so you can swing like that. Great swing from Artem. Ball goes down the line. That's a kill. Middle blocker, back to serve. And that ball is picked up. Off the hands, and that's a kill from Brooklyn, number 3, the sophomore, Michael. As he picks up ball and goes back to serve. Float serve to Godino. Quick set to Many. Many recovers, but between Artem and Stallone, no one can get a second hand on that ball. You'd like to see Artem here be more aggressive on these off-play balls. Many just hangs in the air and swings away. Great swing from Many. As Baruch traditionally goes back to that 6-2. And that is a timeout called. We'll be back in 1 minute. We are back live in set number 1. Hey CUNY fans, do you need sporting goods? Medell has provided exponential service for you for 125 years and offers a 10% discount for all CUNY students, faculty, and staff when you present your CUNY ID with your purchase. You gotta go to Moe's. Nice jump serve. It's dug, though, by Kyriakos with a great pass. Back set to Godino, and Godino goes down the line. First set point here for Baruch at 24-16. Let's see if they can do it on one. The team is preparing right now for CUNY's. And so you'd like to see them be able to close out a set with a block or a point as Marichal Rudin and Manny Misheyev come up with the block. Huge wall from Marichal Rudin followed by Manny. Great way to end the first set, 25-16. Bearcats take set number one. We'll be back in 2.5 minutes. Stay with us. This is the CUNY men's volleyball matchup of the week. Here we are with set number two. Baruch lines up. There was a little miscommunication on where the lineup was at. Nice one-handed stab from Kyriakos. Free ball sent over by Warren. High ball sent outside. Stallone takes it. That means setter's out as Godino tips. Brooklyn looks like they're there for the tip now. 2 ball sent to the middle. It's picked up. Didn't fool the Bearcats. As they go with the 3 ball off the net as Tacos just hangs and throws that ball down. Great volleyball from both teams here.
Number 16, Evan Tacos will serve.
Tacos takes the first serve for the Bearcats. Nice deep serve. That ball's saved. Goes off the hand of Godino and Misheyev. Just into the corner. Stallone caught a little deep. Han Bin Lee coming on. Jump serve goes into the net. That's a point for the Bearcats. Artem coming off for Edward. Stallone coming off for Jake. Brooklyn goes outside set, goes off the net though, does not hit a hand and lands out of bounds. That's a point for the Bearcats.
Number 5, Ed Greenberg will serve.
They go back to the outside again, which is a great thought. Especially once one of your hitters hits out, go back to him. That time he goes 4-4 and gets a really hard kill. Great swing by the sophomore. That ball's set just a little high for a 1 ball. Looks like a 1.5. As the Bearcats find the point, it looked like a net was called. As the senior Godino goes back to serve. Float serve goes deep 6. They set the 5. That ball just poked over by the setter just to keep it alive. Outside set to Warren, and Warren gets the kill. That was a swing. Reaching high, snapping his wrist, and hitting the tee on the court. Dug by Hanbin. That ball's tight. Marija Rudin gets a touch, but it's just too close for the net. Then he couldn't get it over. Great efforts by both teams here. We got some volleyball going in Arc Arena. CUNY game of the week here. Nice pass by Han. All options are open. They go to Warren. He covers himself. Edwards goes the back 5, but that's blocked also. Free ball sent to Brooklyn. They got to do something with this ball. The free ball pass was just a little too tight for the setter's liking. He goes up one hand, and he can't connect one-handed to the middle. That's a hard set for the setter. If he could, you'd really like to see him with 2 hands on that ball, setting his middle. He's got an athletic middle here who can swing away, and he's got to be able to just hit his window. This might be the same rotation that Brooklyn got stuck in last time. They're running a 5-1. And right now their setter is front row with the opposite passing back row. So that means that they can either run the middle on a 5 ball and keep both pins spread wide, which they are right now. They're going 4 ball, 5 ball, and with no middle attack, the setter dumps the ball in the middle. So as you can see, number 9 is in the middle of the blocking rotation. He's the setter. They just brought back in their true middle. So it looks like now the options are middle and outside attack. They go to Godino as he just tees off, but just set a little low. Nice 3-ball from 9 feet off the net. Great set by the sophomore Edward. Finding that box for his hitter. Edward connects on the 3, and that's a kill. Merja Rudin comes off for Stallone as Artem comes on for Edward, the sophomore setter. Brooklyn also making a few subs. Jumper from Stallone. 2 options. That ball goes into the net. This is the same problem. Brooklyn right now has number 9, the setter front row. So they're either going to run a back 5 or they're going to shoot the ball to the outside. You'd like to see them maybe with a back row option here. And their bailout option, they go with the dump. But Semertzidis is there, and this time, instead of running a combination between both pins, they run it straight through the middle. Brooklyn showing that their transition offense, they want to go quick, but on that serve receive, they're okay with spreading you out and trying to find a hand. They really want to go that 4 or 5 as Godino leads the people in the front. Artem needs to keep this ball in. A little bit of confusion from the Bearcats on if Artem should switch with Godino from that outside opposite position. But they found a way to get the point. That's all that matters. Normal starter Steven Lopez comes on the court. Warren Chen, the senior, comes off. Godino, Artem, and Tacos front row with Stallone, the setter, in the back 1, with Semertzidis in the libero spot for the Bearcats. This is a free ball given to the Bearcats. Kyriakos is there. You're expecting a kill here. And that's a kill from the big guy, Artem. Bearcats now increase the lead just a little bit more. 11-6 here as the captain, Steven Lopez, goes back to serve. Another off-the-net pass. This time they go to the back 5 because there's no middle option, and that's into the net. They're not calling a touch here. 12-6, Bearcats are up. Back 5 set, but Lopez is there. Out to Godino, and Godino finds a hand. Smart, intellectual swing from the senior on appreciation night. An ace for the captain. Steven Lopez goes down the line and finds the corner. Showing you why this is the game of the week right here. Great serve from Steven Lopez. That causes Brooklyn to call a timeout. 14-6. We are live and we'll be back in 2 minutes.
In New York City, there is a place for people that want to be a part of something bigger than themselves, where if you work hard, the possibilities are endless. A place to learn, train, and play. In that order, the City University of New York Athletic Conference. This is where it all comes together. Find your people, be a part of a team, and don't just play the game, change the game. Champions aren't born, they're built. The City University of New York. Be exceptional. In New York City, there is a place
We are back live in set number 2. As Godino brings the block, putting on the hurt. Speaking of hurt, the Hospital for Special Surgery. Hospital for Special Surgery is where the world comes to get back into the game. The hospital is ranked number 1 in the nation for orthopedics by U.S. News and World Report. No wonder Hospital for Special Surgery is the official hospital for the CUNYAC division. For more information, please visit www.hss.edu. As the Bearcats take 15-7 lead. They go out to Godino as he shows the angle and finishes down the line. That's a kill. The senior repping on appreciation night. They're running Godino all over the place. Bics, go balls, outside 4 balls. He's getting some kills at the 5 spot as Tacos goes back to serve. This is a high ball off the net and just catches Tacos off guard. 16-8. Brooklyn's looking to climb back a little bit here, 1 point at a time. That's the best thing about volleyball is you can go 1 point at a time. Nice touch by Hahn, but just couldn't get his shoulders to angle back to the court. That's an overpass kill for Brooklyn. Just like that, 1 point at a time, 16-9. Nice pass from Hahn. They go back to Artem as he tips it. Keeps his feet under the net. As they do call under on Artem. That's Brooklyn's point. Third jump serve coming right here. Picked up by Godino. Sent out to Many, but Many goes long with it. And just like that, 16-11. Brooklyn climbing back here. Hanbin, tight pass though. Sent over as the Bulldogs find a point. Bearcats struggling with a side out right here. They got all 3 options. And that's a funny thing about volleyball is all that momentum building up just for you to miss the serve, and now it's gone. Great service run though. Tightens the gap to 5 points as Baruch makes a double sub and stays in the lead 17-12. Outside set, tipped down the line, and Edward just caught off guard. 17-13, 4-point game here. That one goes just about 6 inches out of bounds. Great serve. Hits that corner, but just a little too much. Blocked. Merzhou, Rudin, and Misheyev. Just like how the last set ended. They're back at it again, the combination. Both middle blockers, but Merzhou Rudin tonight is playing opposite. Free ball coming over to the Bearcats. Godino is there, but they set Lopez. Ball goes just a little out of bounds. Great swing by Steven Lopez. Lopez just such a good player for the Bearcats. can serve, pass, defense, and swing. Lopez for the last couple of years has been one of the just great players for the Bearcats, and that's why he is the captain of this team right now. As Godino watches that ball go out of bounds. And especially with Godino leaving, a lot of the offense for next year is going to be on the shoulders of the junior right now, who will be a senior next year, Steven Lopez. Coming up with Manny and Tacos, who are both sophomores, meaning next year they will be juniors. Baruch will have some upperclassmen at the offensive position. With Semertzidis also leaving, Han Ben Lee is here. He has been taking lots of great reps, getting in a lot of good knowledge and education for what is about to come in that starting spot as the Bearcats libero. These are all many things for years and months to come. Right now we are on senior night though, and we still have those seniors, which has been great to have all year long and for the 4 years they've been here. Myself, I had the opportunity to play with the boys for 3 years. Lived with a couple of the seniors for a while, and just some of the best people that we have. An appreciation night, once again, isn't also about just the athletes. It's about the training staff here, the staff in general that we have, who's gotten the athletes through the 4 years. Also, shout out to every single family member. It's not just one person who's going through everything. It affects a lot of people. So maybe they can't say it, but we're taking the time now as a thank you to all the parents or legal guardians who just look over all the athletes here and help out. Ball goes off the hands, and we got a great rally from both teams here as that one gets lost in the light. Bearcats take a 22-15 lead. As Godino, the senior on appreciation night. Looking over here, saying hello to all the fans. His parents are here. That's a timeout. We'll be back in 1 minute. Army ROTC. Register for Army ROTC to be a leader and an official officer in the U.S. Army, Army Reserve, or Army National Guard. You could also be eligible for full tuition scholarship. Lead the team that makes a difference. Contact CUNY ROTC today at 212-650-6478. Again, that's 212-650-6478. Paid for by the United States Army. And we are here on Appreciation Night. Set number 2. Bearcats have a 23-15 lead. Looks like there's some sweat on the court on the Brooklyn side. They're calling over the ref to take a towel to that. We'll clean that up real quick. It's almost like a mini timeout after the timeout. Ref calls the Bearcats back into position. As Stallone, the freshman, goes back to jump serve and just rips it. Great serve. Outside set, and Artem Zinkin comes up with the hit. It's almost like Brooklyn set the wrong team on that one, and the big guy just coming up with a hammer. Stallone coming in. Another jump serve for set point. Way to go after it. They have a 9-point lead here. 8-point now. So it's good to see him just go after that. Stallone here in row 1 has all 3 options open with Godino on a bic. You might see the 1 ball here go into the outside, but it's saved from a bad pass. Brooklyn goes with their own D-ball. Stallone with a great bump set, and Steven Lopez follows down the line for a roll shot kill. Kevin Edwards must have taught him that beat shot. Andrew Suarez says hi to the family. Appreciation night. We'll be back with set number 3 in just 2 minutes. Stay with us. We are back with set number 3. We would like to take 1 second. Municipal Credit Union, MCU, is one of the oldest and largest credit unions in the country. CUNY students and faculty are all eligible to join MCU and experience the benefits and security of credit union membership. For more information, please visit the Municipal Credit Union's website, nymcu.org, and support the official credit union of CUNY Athletics. With that said, we are here in set number 3. Jump serve from the captain, Steven Lopez, to start. Off the hands, 5 ball. Stallone picks it up, and that's a kill for the scholar, the athlete, and the gentleman, Mr. Nick Godino. Steven Lopez back for another jump serve. They go 5-ball, and that one's lost in the light as the Bearcats go up 2 points. And if Baruch can maintain this lead right here, that means that Baruch will most likely play Brooklyn again Tuesday night. That game will be 6 or 7 p.m. and will be the first round of the CUNY tournament. So hopefully both teams can watch this match again, collect a few things, come back a little stronger, and we'll have even better volleyball Tuesday night. That's 1 week from now. Saying hi to some fans in the area. We got some great Baruch fans always showing up consistently throughout the years. Just such a thick alumni base here at the Arc Arena. Because once you become a Bearcat, you're a Bearcat for life here. And Baruch uses all opportunities available, especially all these students on the volleyball team. Most of them are set up with jobs, especially right after college. Great education here. Free ball game going back and forth. And they run Godino on the combo. Just can't get the hands over the net, and that's a tool. That was a great rally from both teams. Bearcats come on top. Bearcats go back with Evan Tacos to serve. Called out, but Brooklyn plays it. Tooled, and that's a point for Brooklyn. Great swing from the outside there. Realizing that there's 4 hands in front of him, not a lot of court to hit, so I'm just going to swing and get my point. Nothing pretty, but it's a great hard swing. Back set to Artem, but that's picked up. 2-ball from Brooklyn. That's also picked up. They go back to the big guy again. And it looks like number 17 for Brooklyn looking up at the lights like he lost it in that light. Tan Rittenar, number 17, the 6-foot freshman. Brooklyn goes for another dump. And from my point of view, I think that's 4 or 5 dumps, and he's gotten 2 or 3 kills on those. Brooklyn, when they don't run that middle option, they do like to dump it right there. Especially because if you're running your setter in the front row in a 5-1, who is the server right now for Brooklyn, so he's now back row. That means there's 3 options front row to attack. When he goes front row, they do not like to run that middle blocker, and they run him on a 5-ball, meaning they can have both pins open for whatever pass. So if you have a middle, you have to have a better pass. If you're running 2 pins, then you can have your pass a little off the net. And that allows him to just dump so consistently. Great offensive strategy from the Brooklyn head coach. But tonight hasn't been quite enough, as the Bearcats now take a 6-4 lead. Up 2 sets. You would like to see the Bearcats close this out in 3 sets. Save the legs a little bit, get some good film. But with that being said, though, this is volleyball, and this is the CUNYAC League. Brooklyn, just because they're down 2 sets, that means they're going to put their foot on the pedal even more. Right now it is 6-5. because they're either going to go home after this set or they're going to continue it. So they're going to do everything in their power to continue this match. As Edward gets the tight pass, everyone thought he was going to do just a quick flick of the wrist to that one ball. He stayed in the air just that half extra second and flung it to the outside, leaving Lopez one-on-one, and that's a kill. The senior, the captain, I'm sorry. Steven Lopez is only a junior this year. An ace for the Bearcats as they go up 8-5. Manny Masheyev, the middle blocker. Brooklyn going to slow down the game a little bit with his substitution here as they switch the outsides. Nice pass from Brooklyn. All options open. They run one ball, and that ball trickles off the net for a Bearcat point. Masheyev this time goes a little long. That ball falls out of bounds as the Bulldogs pick up their 6th point. Float serve goes to Steven Lopez. They run the combination, and it's touched, but the hands just aren't over the net. Baruch with a double sub. Merjau Rudin comes off as Edward comes off, and Stallone and Artem both enter the match. Jump serve is mishit, and that one goes under the net. Freshman year for Stallone. He's only going to get bigger and better from here, though. Already showing much improvement, talking and leading the boys. It's so hard to come in as a freshman setter. I did that, and you have to be able to lead the team, tell them what you want, tell them where you want them to be. As a freshman, too, you can be uncomfortable almost commanding things from your teammates sometimes. Just like how the hitters have to get comfortable with almost commanding what they want from the setter of a tighter set, more off the net, quicker. And Stallone has been finding his voice and will be a very great option for the Bearcats to come for the next 3 years. That back row attack is hit out of bounds, and the gap is now 3 points. Brooklyn closing in 11-8. This is that rotation where they have their setter front row. So you should be watching for a 5-ball and a 4-ball from Brooklyn right here. Semertzidis with a high ball to Godino. Baruch playing great cleanup, though, as Godino finally powers that ball through. And for the young hitters out there, watch Godino swing. All 3 of those swings, he went into the blockers every single time. He just kept attacking. He didn't care if he was going to get blocked or not. He trusted that his boys were going to be behind him and clean up if that ball came back to the court. And that allowed him on the 3rd attempt to just go at the hands, and it fell through. He knew that he wasn't just going to find the court with a bounce for 4 hands up. That's why Godino is just such a great athlete. He's thinking about it and also just physically getting up there, hanging. As they go back to Artem cross map, that ball barely saved as it falls down on Brooklyn's side. A little miscommunication. The libero was calling you go. And number 3 thought the libero was going to take it. The coach is kind of clearing things up a little bit here. It's now a 4-point lead, 13-9. If the Bearcats can make it to 25, that's the end of the match here. Hanbin didn't get that ball up. That ball falls down. 13-10. They're closing the gap. Jump float goes out the front row outside. Steven Lopez. Merjau Rudin with a hard swing. Brooklyn setter caught off guard, caught standing. He was looking for that tip. He raised up from his knees. You got to keep that center of gravity just low. Once you get caught standing, you're caught. Ball's going way too quick in this match. That one's off the hands, but Nick Godino's there. They go cross map to Merjau Rudin. Edward over in the area 4 spot just flings it back. Back into area 2 to Merjau Rudin as he just brings the hammer. Merjau Rudin is one of the most versatile players that Baruch has. He can play opposite, middle. He's set a little bit. A little bit outside as he brings another kill. Bearcats now have a 6-point lead. As Brooklyn slows down the match a little bit, not wasting a timeout here. They make a substitution just for that extra little pause. Make Godino really think about his serve as he goes back there and makes it, though. And they come up with a block. Mr. Steven Lopez and Manny Misheyev. 4 hands in the air, and that's a point for the Bearcats. 17-10, Godino back to serve. High ball situation, that one's outside, it's rolled over. Han's there though. They go out to Pez. Merjau Rudin. Edward gets tight. His chest was to the net, and he just sends that ball over his right shoulder, and Jake Rudin gets a kill. That's a timeout for Brooklyn. 18-10, Baruch leads. Set number 3, timeout. Stay with us. Back here in set number 3, Nicholas Godino, the senior, back to serve. Jump float, 3-point pass. Off the hands, but it's picked up. Edwards there, and it's tipped over. 1.5 ball, but Manny is there. It's not the traditional 1 ball, where your middle blocker is in the air before the setter touches it. That one was just a little slower. Manny could time it out. Both hands up, and that's a block for the sophomore. Another one. That was a down ball coming from the A-ball position. And Edward, the sophomore, your setter has to stay for that defense. He can't release early, and Edward got caught releasing early right there. He thought down ball, we can get it, but it was hit right at his spot. And the easy pass turns into a kill for Brooklyn as the Bearcats reply with a 3-ball off the net. Great swing from Many. Warren Chen comes back into the game, and you can hear the crowd calling for him. Steven Lopez comes off. Baruch has to name a new captain, and that's Nicholas Godino. Many coming in with a serve. Merjau, Rudin, and Taco scaring the outside on Brooklyn. Trying to go around the forehands, and that ball's hit out. As Brooklyn calls a timeout at 21-11, set number 3. Bearcats are up. We'll be back in 1 minute. Second timeout finished by Brooklyn. Bearcats have a 21-11 lead, 2 sets up. Senior Appreciation Night, CUNY Game of the Week. What more can you ask for here, ladies and gentlemen, except for the serve over the net? And once again, we are honoring tonight Warren Chen, Nicholas Godino, and Kyriakos Semertzidis for everything that they have done for this school, the program, the people here. It's not just the playing on the court. It's everything that goes into being a student athlete. You have to do everything normal students have to do, and then the physical body, watching film. Thank you to the parents, the families, who allow all of us and everyone who's doing it right now the opportunity to be in sports. It's definitely a different lifestyle, and for those who do choose that path, it's not easy to do it by yourself. So thank you to everyone. Thank you to the boys. Coach Kevin Edwards had nothing but positive things to say about the 3 boys prior. As right there, Baruch has the setter off for more of a defensive rotation. There's no true setter on the court as Stallone comes back on between Merjau Rudin, who's a true middle, Evan Tacos, who's a middle, and then Artem at the opposite position. There's a little communication error on who should set that ball, taking second hands. Brooklyn now has 2 opportunities right here to really climb back in. And with that, they now have 1 opportunity. The Bearcats need 1 point to close out Appreciation Night. Warren Chen, this is how, if this was a movie, this is how it would be going down. 24-13, the senior Warren. Come out to the team a couple times. He's now made it. Going back for the point serve as the Bearcats bring the block. Godino, the senior, having the senior Warren Chen serve, having both seniors Kyriakos, Semertzidis, and Nicholas Godino on the court with Warren. The ball going out to senior Nicholas Godino, and Godino coming up with a game-winning block. Perfect ending to Appreciation Night. We would like to say thank you to Brooklyn for coming out. Great game from both teams. With the win, that does mean that the Bearcats will be hosting Brooklyn College Tuesday night. That will either be at 6 or 7 p.m. Most likely, there's more information to come with more CUNY games still to finish, but that's what could possibly be with all of the games and the standings. There might be a home match for the Bearcats. If one or two teams lose, the Bearcats might be playing Tuesday away. Check online. You can go to baruchathletics.com under the men's volleyball schedule. After this week and the weekend, you will be able to see whether or not the boys have a home match or away. We would like to once again say thank you to all the seniors, appreciation to every single person who's put their time and effort into all of this. Thank you for staying with us all season. My name is Stephen Roach, and thanks again to all of athletics. We're closing out the season here. We'll catch you next Tuesday or next season. Thanks for being with us.